Hey everybody, how are you doing? It is Wednesday evening. I'm out in the shop. Let me show you what I've been working on. This is a Pioneer PL12 stereo turntable. It was not a hugely expensive turntable back in the day. Sorry about that light glare. It was not a hugely expensive turntable back in the day. This was the workhorse of turntables. They were reasonably priced, and every college dorm in the United States probably had one of these in them back in the 70s. Actually, this one's from 69, so back in the early 70s, late 60s, early 70s, just knocking out some serious rock and roll. It's a great little turntable. It had a few problems. You'll notice I've got the cartridge off of it. The stylus was broken, and I ordered one online, and it said it was for this turntable. However, it did not fit. So I went back and I ordered another one today. I contacted the guy and said, hey, I sent some photos to him and said, hey, this is what I've got, and it's not right. And he basically responded to me and told me the right one, and I got it on order. So it should be in probably by Monday. I also had to replace the belt. If you remove this rubber pad, there's a belt under here, rubber belt, and this is what, the motor turns the belt, and then the belt turns the table, and that's what they dry rot, right? So this thing's been sitting in someone's basement. My brother-in-law gave it to me. It was sitting in his basement for a long time. He bought it in '69 new, and I ended up taking it apart because this little lift here that raises the arm up, it was barely moving. So I got under it and got to looking, and I found a set screw under there that needed some adjustment, and now it lifts just fine. I actually put the needle that wasn't the right needle. I put it partially into the cartridge, and I played it. It's actually hooked up to the stereo right now because I thought it was going to play. I left the needle out to do the alignment because when you're adjusting the weight, it's bouncing on the table and bouncing on the disc, whatever. So I left the new needle out, and I adjusted it all, balancing everything with the broken needle in there, and then I hooked it all up and I plugged in the good needle, and it wouldn't fit. I got it halfway in. That was all the farther it would go. And I actually played it, and you couldn't really hear much. You could hear the music lightly playing through the stereo because there were not good contacts. It's in great shape. I mean, the thing is, and this is some kind of a bug or something that died on it. That should come off with a little Windex. But all in all, this thing's in phenomenal shape, and I think my son's going to have himself a nice little turntable. What's left to do is receive the stylus on Monday, get that inserted, and that's just basically you pull the old one out, you slide the new one in. I'll put the cartridge on probably later tonight. It's just in my office because I was taking photos of it. We need to align. I've got it fairly well balanced, but I don't have a scale. Well, I might have a scale. Now that I think about it, I do have a scale. My resin scale will weigh in grams. I need to put about 2.5 grams of weight at the end of the needle on the record because there's springs under the turntable. So if someone jumps or whatever, the turntable can take a little bit of shock, and the needle shouldn't skip. And if I have about 2 to 2.5 grams, which is about where this one was supposed to be, I'm glad I thought of that. I'll get that little scale and I'll be able to fix that. And then the other thing is we need to take a piece of paper and we'll poke it in the hole and we'll have a straight line coming out the paper. And then we line the head up of the stylus cartridge up and the needle to where it's perfectly that line that runs from the center out. At the outside edge of the record, it's on that line. And then on the inside edge of the record, it's on that line. What you'll do is put a piece of paper here and you have a straight line from the center post all the way out to the end of the record, and you'll bring the armature over and you'll lay it down on there, and the cartridge will be on there, and the end of the stylus should be square with that line. Then you'll move it in, and you'll have to adjust the turntable a little bit, but it should be square on the inside of the album as well, or the platen as well. And what that does is your record is a V, right? And the stylus rides in that V. And if you're not perfectly square to the platen at all times, you'll start off and your needle may start off like this and your needle's going to rotate like this, and it can affect your sound quality. So you want to align that. This is probably way more information than you care about. I'm sorry guys, but I'm sitting here geeking out. I got to thinking, here I am, I'm not doing a turntable video, but I mean, I'm really into this. I really enjoy it. I haven't done it for years, but I'm having an opportunity to do it now because one of my children is actually taking an interest in something that I used to love so much. So I'm having a great time with it, and I'll stop geeking out on you guys. But if I get this thing playing, I'll show it to you guys. I really can't play music because of copyright, but I can at least show you guys that it's playing. Other than that, what else was I going to work on? Oh yeah, one other thing. This is one of the other things, since that's at a standstill. This has been drying since Sunday. It looks really good. I think it's ready to go. What we're going to do is clean it up again, and then I'm going to go ahead and start applying a CA finish. That's tonight. I just finished turning these blanks. Let me flip around and show them to you. You can see them better. These are the hybrid blanks. They started out as Chaos cutoffs, and Robert cast them into Alumilite resin. You can see the brass dust that I put in there to fill the blowout. Actually, I kind of like that. I think it turned out really nice. It's just gorgeous. I mean, look at that blank there. This is the lower blank. It just looks amazing. I decided not to pop them into a kit at this point. And the main reason why is it was a screw up on my part. I did not paint the tubes. And I'm so aggravated at myself. I have a bad habit of forgetting to do that on hybrids, and I don't know why. And I'm super disappointed, because had they had some paint behind them to really make the blue pop, they would have been stunning. I would have pressed them into the kit in a heartbeat. But for now, we're just going to let them ride. I may eventually do something like that with them. I'm super happy with how they polished up and how they turned and how they look, other than seeing the brass tube. You guys know how it is. What else was I going to tell you about? I don't remember. I'm out here listening to a podcast. Speaking of podcast, I am on a podcast with Rebecca DeGroot and Mike DeLalter. The podcast is called You Made That? So if you're interested in giving it a listen, please do. We'd love for you to check it out. Go to your favorite podcast listening software and just type in You Made That, and it will pop right up. It's the only one. And you'll find us, give it a listen, and then give us some feedback. Let us know what you think about it. And if you like it, tell somebody, tell a friend, invite them to listen. And if there's somebody you don't like, have them listen to it. Maybe you'll get back at them. No, really, it's a good podcast. It's a lot of fun. It's lighthearted. We keep it pretty low key, and we have a great time with it. We've had some awesome guests so far. Got some awesome guests lined up, and I would love to have you guys check it out. I think that's going to be about it for me tonight. I'm going to get in the house and wind down for the evening. So you guys have a great evening. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you again very, very soon.